very early in the morning for episode 6. I haven't even done my hair yet, actually. The Merge episode's coming up. The Merge preview made it seem like it was mainly just going to be the people from the Purple Tribe plus Josh as like the main focus. Since we're reaching the half point of the series, what I'm seeing so far is I think it's okay. Like the season itself is fun to watch so far. My favorite player is still Carolyn at this point, just because she's kind of just all over the place. No real villain or anything like that. As it stands right now, I feel like the frontrunners to win are Franny, Danny, maybe Brendan. But I feel like Brendan loses power just because Matthew's gone now. It would be a shock if anyone from the Purple Tribe survives, just because they're already wrapped up in like so much drama as it is. Maybe this will also be a turning point for Matt because his merge game, or no, his pre-merge game was pretty much a disaster. And there's still people with like fake idols running around, except in I don't remember her name, but I don't even remember who has the fake idols anymore. All I know is that Danny knows where one of them is. I think it's gonna be an interesting merge and whatnot. Let's see what happens. First commercial break has happened. I know I said there wasn't a villain, and there really still isn't one. We kind of have to reach to see a villain. I guess if I had to pick villains, I would pick maybe Danny just because he has all that information about everyone. He can easily take advantage of it. Plus, he's a kingpin. And two, I don't know, maybe Carolyn, I guess. Not because Carolyn hasn't done anything like inherently evil or anything like that. It's just she sticks out like a sore thumb sometimes, and then when you like get to like her first scene on the merge, it has like some ominous music playing in the background, as if she's like a hunter stalking, like waiting in patience for like her prey and whatnot. That's a new one, waiting in patience. Um, Carson is he's not a big target, but he's definitely like a sleeper target. Like he's that target that'll come around in the end and just straight up win everything if people aren't careful. Josh still on death row. I'd be shocked if he made it past this episode, knowing he's going to be the target tonight. You know what I mean? It's also kind of painful to watch Jamie with all her confidence when I know that one, she was one of the big targets before the merge, and two, because any information that the Green Tribe told her was basically a lie just to get her to like feel comfortable for a blindside. It's not a good look. Also, I'm curious about Josh's fake idol. Like, I know he made one, but I'm confused as to whether or not he has another fake idol. Because didn't Danny let Josh find the fake idol he made? And like that was never really brought up again when it came to like the merge reveal where all idols are information kind of scene that happened. Now they brought up Matthew's fake idol that he let Jamie find. Then it's like they never really bring up the fake idol that Josh found, as opposed to the one he made, I think. And if he is talking about the one that he found as opposed to the one he made, how does he already know it's fake? You know what I mean? There's something I'm not remembering or something I'm not seeing here, but as far as I know, that fake idol that Danny planted is, I don't know, I guess it just disappeared somewhere. So this is the season that has definitely pointed out a lot of times that, you know, people have like recreated challenges in the backyard and whatnot. That like they're just openly pointing it out, they're openly admitting it and stuff like that. So it's like, how many times are we going to see these challenges anymore? Like, is this the last time I see that tree puzzle because of Carson? Is it the last time I see that buoy puzzle because of Matthew? Like, what's the next challenge that someone's copied and pasted? You know what I mean? I just wonder how much of it is left. Because I mean, technically speaking, before that puzzle, it seemed like a new challenge. Like guiding a giant ball somewhere isn't necessarily new for Survivor, but pushing it over like a post that's almost as tall as me, that one's new. That was exciting for the most part. Also, just as a side note, this right here, this moment when they're trying to discuss between Jam Jam and Josh, that's the first time I've heard Heidi talk in a while. Like, I haven't noticed anything about her because, like, anytime we went to the green shop, it was either Danny, Franny, or Matt. Those were the people who got the most attention. So, yeah, I'm happy I at least remember her name now. As a fan of Carolyn's, I'm worried what's going to end up happening down the road, and I can clearly see it happening is everyone treats Carolyn as the person to beat at the final three, the GOAT. Just because like no one's really listening to her, and everyone like views her game very differently, or like views the game very differently than her. And she might go into tribal council thinking, man, I knew this, and no one listened to me, and yada yada yada, and like people are just gonna be put off by that. You know what I mean? So it's like, God. I mean, I'd be happy if she made final three, but I don't know. If things continue down a path that I foresee, where it's like she's gonna continue to like try and point out people's mistakes and no one listens to her, I feel like no one's gonna take her seriously, despite the fact that most of the time she's right. You know what I mean? Okay, I just hit the commercial break right before we start the tribal council. It was a good move on Kane to switch the backup target over to Jam Jam. However, it was also kind of like not a good move because if Carson feels slighted in any way, shape, or form, Kane's gonna have to face Carson, even though he likes Kane. I mean, it's scary to like piss somebody off when they have that many working people with them, you know what I mean? Which in Carson's case, it might as well be everyone on the damn beach. He has some kind of connection with everyone. I'm not really sure how Carson feels about it. They didn't really touch upon it. From the looks of it, it seems like that big, I don't even know like who's in the big majority alliance. It's just like people banded together to vote off Josh or Kane as backup, and now they may switch to Jam Jam. It seems like the people who are like the most leader-ish type when it comes to that big group was Brandon, and then maybe Franny. Those are the people who look like they're in charge, which is strange because I thought it was going to be Danny that starts stepping up. But thankfully, for his game's sake, he's in the background. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, obviously. But I think what's going to happen is I think people will still vote for Josh. I don't know. I feel like at one point or another, Danny will point out that he probably doesn't have an idol. That mixed in with what Carolyn is saying about how he tried to play fake idol and didn't work. I think Danny can at least persuade some people. I think Carolyn, even though it was kind of like made fun of in the last scene, should be able to persuade some people. I think the target will still be Josh. If there are any kind of people that could try and put some people's mind at ease, I think it'd be those two specifically. So that would be my prediction for tonight, is that Josh goes home and maybe a few stray votes on Jam Jam. Okay, so for the most part, I was right. There was one random stray vote on Kane, which was done by Carolyn, shockingly enough. Which, remember how I said that I was afraid that people are just going to take Carolyn to the end because they don't think she can win the game, because someone likes her game? Her being the one vote for Kane is the start of that, I feel like. Because then people could say, no, everyone voted for either Josh or Jam Jam. Carolyn just voted Kane for some reason. And it could also expose her closeness with Jam Jam, even though I don't think that's the reason why she voted Kane, but it could be a reason to vote off Carolyn or Jam Jam. There's a twist coming up, I guess, which, I don't know, sounds like the freaking pick 6 coffins thing, where it's like they may not even get the chance to vote off. They may just be voted out unanimously, or not voted out, but just eliminated from the game. It sounds like someone's finally targeting the duo, the lovers duo of both Maddie and Franny. Danny is kind of shockingly quiet this episode, so I wonder if it'll continue that way and if he just kind of blends into the background. I don't really know who to give credit for the Josh vote off, whose move that was, because it seems like it was just kind of unanimous. It seems like everyone wanted to just continually vote off Josh. Everyone was worried about Josh. and I don't know who like put them back on the track of voting Josh when Kane started freaking out. So I guess everyone's so far in a good standing except for I guess Carolyn, sadly enough. Carolyn and Carson, I guess, because Carson kind of upset the order of things a little bit. It was funny because it's like every other time we see Matt and Franny together, they're always talking about how we can't tell anybody how close we are. But it's like it's funny because it's like you figure based off like the earlier episodes, you figure that everyone knows they're close. You know what I mean? It's like that thing that happened in the Millennials versus Gen Xers. You know, where it's like the one girl and that one guy were trying to hide how close they were, but it turns out everyone freaking knew. I feel like that's what's happening here. It's just we're not getting a funny scene out of it. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. I don't even know if a vote off's going to happen next. So I can't even predict who's next just because of that one twist that the next time on portion of the show showed up. We'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what this twist is. That's the main draw that's keeping me towards wanting to watch episode 7. But that was episode 6. So I'll see you next time.